Welcome, everyone. Sue Ellen. I'm going to be leading today at the Women's Meditation. So this is our midsummer, just about midsummer, I think, which is amazing, July 26th. And my bio is that I've been a longtime student here and have been on the faculty for 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 now, I don't know. But I thought we'd just start by just going around the room and around the online room and having everyone say their name and where you're residing and anything else that you'd like to add. Well, I'll start with the folks inside. I think this is one of the first women's meditations that we've had almost as many people online as in house, which is really exciting. Hi, Megan. Welcome. Hi, Kelly. Nice to have you guys. Welcome. So we're just going to go around and do our usual and introduce ourselves, say hi, and say where we're from and maybe how long you've been practicing, whatever you'd like to say. Donna, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, my name's Donna Pachetti, and I live in Berkeley. And I've been coming here for a long time. I can't remember when, I think the late 90s or something like that.
Well, welcome. It's great to see you. Marty.
I'm Marty, and I live just down the hill in North Berkeley. So I love coming up here, especially for the last Sunday of the month, to meditate with all these beautiful women.
Great. Great. And I don't know your name. What is your name?
Susanna.
Susanna. Welcome, Susanna.
My name is Susanna. I live in North Berkeley, close, and this is my second time here.
It's your second time. Welcome. That's great. Nice. Can you all hear? Did you all hear Susanna?
Yeah.
Good. It's interesting to hear online. This mic is really working. It's wonderful. Jill.
I'm Jill, born and raised and educated in Berkeley,
Wow.
and live over by the Elmwood area, Alta Bates area. And I've been coming to Nyingma, I think, for longer than I'm remembering, since before the pandemic. And I'm so pleased to be able to say that. No wonder I love being here.
Yeah, that's great. Welcome, Jill. And I've forgotten your name. We've met before, but I've forgotten your name.
Latasha, hi.
Latasha.
And I live in the neighboring city next door, El Cerrito, but I'm from Berkeley. Same thing, growing up in the schools here, and I've been coming. I'm sort of a returning student, well, returning participant,
Mhm.
and I've been coming here overall 2 decades.
Wow. I'm so glad that you're
Very
returned,
privileged to
that
be
you've
back.
returned. Great, well, welcome. Great. All right, now we're on to the online. Let's start with Hedian.
Hi, I'm at the Nyingma Institute staff, and glad to see you all, and glad I can hear you really well today.
So nice. It's great. Thank you. Glad you're here too, Hedian. And Deborah. You've got to unmute yourself.
There. I'm Deborah Reed. I'm also born and raised in Berkeley and a friend of Jill's, who we were friends from preschool. And she introduced me to the Institute, and this is, I think, my third time here.
Welcome, Deborah. So nice to have you. Lori.
Hi, my name is Lori, and I live in Hilo, Hawaii. And I've been coming to the Nyingma Institute for, well, since the mid 90s. And I miss it. I wish I was there in person, but I am very grateful for both Zoom and now this improved system where I can hear better and see better um, for online classes, this has made a huge difference for me. So nice to see everybody. I'm glad I can be here, even this way.
Great. Well, welcome. So glad everybody can hear. Megan.
Hey, my name is Megan, and I live in Toronto, Canada, and I was a work study student at the Institute in the aughts. Great to be here.
Wonderful. Kelly.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and I've been to Berkeley many times, but I currently live in Brentwood in the East Bay. This is my first time attending any classes here, and I'm excited to join in on the fun with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Special welcome to you.
Thank you.
Olivia.
Greetings. I'm joining you this evening from Starksboro, Vermont, a little hamlet in north central Vermont, where I'll be till September before heading back to Berkeley. But I'm just so happy to see familiar faces and new faces and to be able to join you on Zoom. Sue Ellen, thank you for presenting this meditation.
Definitely.
I feel like I'm
Welcome.
there.
Yeah, it feels like it, almost here. And Linda, welcome.
Hi. So I'm Linda. I'm from San Leandro, which is fairly near Berkeley, on the other side of Oakland. And I've been coming actually since this women's group started. I think I might have attended the very first meeting that this group had at the Institute before the pandemic. And would love to get back to the Institute, but mobility is a challenge there. It's a real challenge dealing with the stairs. So I'm happy to be connecting this way.
Great. So the resources of these new fandangled technologies are really beneficial to you as well.
Yes.
Great. Good. Well, I live close to the center here also. I live on the south side of campus. This is directly on the north side of campus. And I should be walking here more than I do, but I'm very happy to be here tonight. And I thought tonight we're going to be continuing to read from Rinpoche's book, Caring. And we really isn't a book that we've been able to do cover to cover, which we used to be doing in our women's meditations, because it's filled full of practices. So every chapter is kind of meant to be gone through linearly and then doing a lot of the practices there. But I'm going to continue to read some juicy sections from that tonight. And I thought it might be a really nice way to start this evening together if we could just do a short reflection for our own well-being on caring and what it means to care. And if you're interested and you get really turned on by the whole thing, please think about ordering this book from the center here, the Institute, or online, or wherever you get your books. So Rinpoche, Tartang Tulku, the Tibetan Lama who founded the Institute, writes in the preface of Caring, he's talking about what is real caring. And he says, real caring can be quickly recognized, appreciated, and emulated by others. No special instructions or insights are required. Real caring shines out in the way we treat our tools, in the way we cook our meals, and the way our houses and gardens feel to be in. It shows in how we move down the street, how we engage our duties as citizens or as members of the community. Real caring is immediately apparent in how we clean up after ourselves, how we maintain and repair and strengthen what is weak. And so let's do a short reflection. Get comfortable on your cushion or your chair. Let's just kind of arrive here by taking a couple of slow breaths in and out. You can close your eyes if you'd like or leave them open. Let yourself feel into the body. Aware of the body in the space of this room or whatever room you're in. Let the shoulders relax just a bit more. Release the muscles of the jaw. Going inward, ask yourself, what is it that I really care about, that I really value? How do I care for what I value? How do I show care for myself, for others, for the things that I value? We're just reflecting, so be careful not to judge yourself harshly, but just reflect on caring, the ways it does show up in your life, perhaps sometimes doesn't, lives and in our actions. Letting that reflection go. We're going to do just a little seated Kone, Tibetan yoga, to kind of loosen up and bring us here before we move into the silent meditation. So again, get comfortable in your chair or your cushion. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to relax the shoulders by moving them up and down 3 times slowly. You can synchronize that with your breath as well by just inhaling slowly, raising them all the way up, holding for a moment, and releasing all the way down. Let's do a couple more, and you can do it at your own pace. Now we're going to rotate our shoulders, lifting the right, rotating it back as you lift, just opposite, down when the other's up. And do this slowly, slow enough that you can really feel rotation, not straining or pushing, just feeling that rotation. Staying with the movement. You've completed that. Change direction. So now we're going forward, And coming back to center. And now let's sit up straight with the shoulders just ever so slightly back, with the chest nice and open in the front here. Hands can be down, palms down, flat on your thighs or on your knees. And what we're going to do is just let gravity take care of this. So no straining. Very slowly, we're going to lean the right ear towards the right shoulder, feeling the openness on that left side of the neck. Breathing throughout. Slowly lifting up to the middle. So we're at center. Then slowly to the left side. Again, chest is open. Sitting up pretty straight. Feel the muscles of the neck just opening ever so slightly. Slowly back to the middle. We'll do that 2 more times. Again, you can do it at your own pace. Each time, neck muscles open just a little bit more. And now we're going to complete this with a Kumne practice called loosening up. And the way we do this practice, if you haven't done it before, it's very easy. It's very meditative too, so stay with the movement. We're going to place our hands on our thighs, and what you're going to do is one hand, my right hand, with fingertips pointing towards the knee, is moving in an outward direction towards the knee. At the same time, looking forward, the left hand begins to move up towards the waist, bending the elbow at the waist. Let me see if I can show you. If you can see this. No, you probably can't because I'm at a distance. So the right hand moving towards the knees at the same time, the left hand is sliding up the left leg towards the waist. Elbow is bending outward. And then you slowly reverse that movement. So now the right hand is moving up towards the waist as the fingers on the left hand are pointing past the knee. Continue this slow movement a number of times, just feeling the cloth beneath the palms. Sensations. then coming to stillness. I'm going to end with just a couple of minutes of just silence, feeling into the benefits of this movement, allowing it to expand throughout the body. Coming now into meditation, we're going to be meditating for about 15 minutes or so. Then I'll ring the bell once, and if you'd like to shift around on your cushion, you can do it then for however long you need to, and then just move directly after that back into some silent meditation for more minutes, so about 15 minutes. So shift around and find that place of balance where you feel really tethered and stable. The spine is straight, rigid. We're going to tuck our chin ever so slightly so that the eyes are at a downward glance, 45-degree angle. Opening up the back of the neck, energy to flow from lower to upper body. Eyes can be slightly open, that downward gaze, not looking at anything in particular, just a soft, accepting gaze. Dropping your mouth open about a quarter inch or so. If it's possible, you can try to curl your tongue, very relaxed, resting the tip of the tongue on the upper palate, right behind the front teeth. Give it a try. Be able to sustain it the whole time, but it's the perfect balance of breathing through both nose and mouth simultaneously. Now bringing your attention to the breath. Perhaps noticing where you feel it most strongly. Bringing your attention right there and just resting. Move now into silent meditation, staying with breath. As you notice you've drifted away, it's perfectly natural. Just nudge yourself back to breath each time you notice. shift around, stretch a little bit, please take this time to do that. Back into Read this book, Carrie. We're reading from a chapter well into the book, which is called Sharing Caring.
Can I ask you, Sue, what was the one you read at the beginning? Do you remember what chapter that was from?
That is from the preface,
Oh, okay.
and the preface and the introduction are so deep and definitely worth reading. Sometimes we forget that, but it's just yeah. So this one's from part 5, Sharing Caring, and the subtitle is Open to the World. The path of caring is not only for times when we're alone, not only a topic for meditation, it's open to the world. Take a moment to think about how many times you interact with others over the course of a day. Recall the casual greetings, the brief exchanges, the formal meetings and long conversation. Each point of contact has a potential to be a vehicle of the quality of care that we've discovered within. Even when we do not speak, our body language and gestures can be powerful vehicles. We can reassure others with a touch of the hand. Even our calm, steady breathing can help others feel more at ease. This quality also manifests when we relate to the larger world with kindness and attention. It's present when we avoid stepping on beetles, when we gently move aside branches or plants that are in our path, and when we open and close doors smoothly and quietly. Everything we do, every movement we make, can be a way to communicate caring. When people sense your quality of care, they become more positive, more optimistic. It becomes easier for joy to emerge in their daily lives. Outer, inner, and secret lives. As we consider caring, it's valuable to reflect on those whom we do not care about. We might not like to admit it, but even when we try to be open-minded and agreeable, almost all of us place a few conditions on our caring. Who counts as uncared for depends on the ways we ourselves identify with others. Some of us pay no attention to animals or plants. Some of us are considerate of children, but dislike being around the elderly. And for some, it's the other way around. And almost all of us have made a private, personal decision about individuals or groups we do not like. There are people alive today whose beautiful potentials go virtually ignored by the world because they're homeless or disabled, or because they come from the wrong country or practice the wrong religion. On the other hand, we may be able to feel friendly towards groups that have been traditionally overlooked or abused, but find ourselves unable to care about people we regard as privileged, rich, and successful. And then he has a little italicized, why should I care about them? They have it all, more than me. This bitterness is pretty common and quite understandable given the way that we have learned to relate to ourselves. Yet when we care, we realize that all human beings have outer, inner, and secret lives. What we show to others, our outer lives, may bear little resemblance to our inner lives, the world of thoughts and feelings, of memories and fears that color all that we do. And an even deeper level are experiences that we may not even be able to share consciously with ourselves, our truly secret lives. It is important to consider this because those with prosperous outer lives may be suffering unimaginably. A wealthy and famous entertainer, beloved by millions of fans, may be deeply isolated, frightened and ill, even literally starving. That person may never have tasted real joy or kind and reliable caring. The outer form, the inner atmosphere, and the secret story may not match. So how do we start? We can at least start now on a smaller scale with an immediate way of caring. I can only do so much, but I can do this now. We might start by practicing to develop presentness and openness. When we are truly present and we can feel another's troubles and offer support, we are caring. We can even feel for animals, beings that cannot advocate for themselves in our language-oriented world. Each moment we can remind ourselves to pay attention to what is happening and to respond to others with kindly, thoughtful communication. We can do this on an immediate and physical level by taking care of such simple things as cleaning implements and gardening tools. We can pay attention to how we tend flowers and plants, and how we respect animals. We can care for the spaces in the neighborhoods where we live. We can care for our bodies and nurture the energies that must flow so that we can accomplish our aims. In relating with others, we can learn how to create a friendly atmosphere. The impressions we leave and the attitudes we bring influence and encourage others. We can strengthen our caring by listening and paying attention to the feedback that we receive from our actions, by accepting a friend's gratitude for help, or for instance, by embracing a sense of accomplishment for a job well done. Careful attention to the feedback we receive from unsuccessful efforts is also important. We can develop a level of caring that does not depend on being rewarded, even if only subtly, for our actions. Then the expressions of care may be more available for anyone in need, even someone ill in body and spirit, or destitute and homeless. According to the Buddhist tradition, the Bodhisattva manifests a higher level of caring for those who are ignorant. No response or feedback from the recipient of that caring is expected. This is the kind of selfless love and compassion described in the highest spiritual ideals. Yet without everyday caring in mundane matters, this activity may be simply invisible to us. It can be hard to imagine anyone really being and acting like this. And so our minds may translate bodhisattva activity into something conceptual, idealized, and ultimately abstract. If compassion and caring register only as words or thoughts, without a living connection to the heart, there's little understanding. Words remain concepts without much effect unless we have developed that heart connection. Ordinary level daily caring is crucial for us to develop our understanding of care. Reading. Thought maybe had comments or anything strike you about the reading or the reflection that you did when you first came on care? Anything stand out? His words are so precise that it's hard to get first round, but just a feeling of some of the energy of what he was trying to say.
Something that stood out, probably because it's something that I'm working on, is when he was talking about like even your like breath and like your presence, like an action, like a caring action to like soothe other people. I feel like sometimes this could be, you know, my brain, but I feel like sometimes I come across as like very like this, and then it makes the other person nervous. They're like, oh, what should I be nervous about? So I've been trying to like be more calm and like slower, and so
That's
when
beautiful.
you said that, I'm like, oh,
That's
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Yeah, I think, remember, he was kind of pointing us to things, simple things like caring for tools and those sort of things. And there's so much wisdom in that. I've been thinking about it because I'm doing a Dharma talk on presence pretty soon. And you think about, you know, slowing down enough to pay attention has so many layers of practice in it, you know, to learn what it feels like to have the body move slower, or pay attention to how much your body wants to move faster, you know, to actually move it all down. And I particularly loved where he was saying that these little acts of ordinary caring can give other people a chance to have more optimism and more positivity. And the opposite is so true. We know that by living in this time right now. The opposite is so true when there's so much negativity and hopelessness. You know, we're all connected, and we really, really do feel it. So in our own little world, that advice of just practicing these small ways of caring and slowing down and everything, it's pretty inspiring. That's, you know, I get to read this a couple times, so it's kind of thought about it a bunch. So
I think Kelly on the Zoom,
Oh,
she raised her hand.
Kelly,
Yes, so the word presence, as it's been said multiple times, reminded me of this saying that I used to tell guests to parties that I was hosting. Your presence is the perfect present. No gifts, please. But I actually think that your presence is exactly the best gift to give to show care. So anyway, just a fun little thing that I thought I'd
Yes.
share.
yeah, it is that both play on words that way. Yeah, thank you, Kelly. That's great. Anyone else before we close tonight? Yes, Donna.
I had an experience this summer when I was on vacation. There was this woman at this place I was staying, and she was really hostile, a very hostile person. And any chance she could, she would start saying really nasty things to people. And then I tried to defend my friend, and that put the target on me. And then she just was so nasty. And then, you just want to go, whoa. Then I mentioned it to a friend, what had happened, and she's a therapist, and she said, oh, she must really be, it sounds pretty crazy. And I thought about it, I said, yeah, it is a little crazy. The poor woman, I had a whole, instead of being just on the defensive, the poor woman, she's not rational, and she's just got all this fury, she doesn't know how to. And so I started feeling compassion. I didn't, go near her because she hated me personally, but I sent her compassion anyway. And so, and then I wasn't so scared of her. I just felt sorry for her. And then I, didn't feel so bad about the nasty things she said. Said she can't help it. She's
a lot of
got
pain.
a problem.
That's a lot of pain. Thank you. That's a great example. Okay, well, let's dedicate the merit of our time together and take a moment to just think of whatever benefit there's been for you, and we'll just seal the wish with a little wish that I have here of just, may we cultivate true care and kindness for ourselves and for others, and may our actions do no harm, but instead bring benefits to others. Let's seal this wish by chanting Om Ah Hum 3 times together. so much for being here, everyone.
Yeah.
See
Thank
you at the
you.
end of August. Night.
Thank you, Sue Ellen. Good to see everybody.
Good night.